Do you ever find yourself walking into a room and forgetting why you went there? Or maybe you struggle to recall a name that's right on the tip of your tongue. It happens to the best of us, especially as we get a little older. We often laugh it off, saying it's just senior moments. But sometimes, these little slips, and the fear that they might get worse, can bring a quiet wave of worry, a silent question about what the future holds for our minds. It feels like something precious could be slipping away, and that's a truly painful reality for many of us. What if I told you that some things you might still be doing, perhaps out of habit or simply not knowing any better, could actually be silently chipping away at your brain's health right now, especially if you're over 70. It's not about anything drastic or difficult to change. In fact, some of these might seem completely harmless, maybe even like a necessary part of your routine, but they have a hidden impact. Understanding this isn't about causing alarm. It's about empowerment. It's about shining a light on these hidden harms so you can make simple, gentle shifts that protect your most vital organ, your brain. In this video, we're going to look at some of these often overlooked habits that can negatively affect brain health as we age, and more importantly, what you can do about them. We'll explore simple, practical steps you can take starting today to nurture your cognitive health, keep your memory sharper, and maintain that mental clarity you cherish. These aren't complicated fixes or expensive treatments. They're small adjustments to how you live your life that can make a world of difference. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's start with something that might feel natural, maybe even necessary for some, but can silently undermine your brain health, letting yourself drift into social isolation. It sounds simple, doesn't it? As we get older, life changes. Friends move away or pass on. Family might live far off. Retirement changes our daily structure, and sometimes getting out just feels like too much effort. So, we spend more time at home, alone. It seems harmless. You might think of it as peaceful solitude, a chance to finally relax after years of busyness. And a little quiet time is certainly good for the soul. But chronic, ongoing isolation is vastly different from chosen solitude, and its effect on the brain, especially after 70, can be profound and deeply harmful, often without us even realizing it. Think about it. Our brains are wired for connection. For tens of thousands of years, humans lived in tribes, relying on each other for survival, sharing stories, solving problems together. This fundamental need for connection is deeply embedded in our biology. When we feel disconnected, particularly over long periods, it triggers a stress response in the body. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is released, and chronic elevated levels of cortisol are known to damage the hippocampus, the part of the brain crucial for memory formation and retrieval. Have you ever noticed how stress seems to make your thinking fuzzy and your memory unreliable? Long-term stress from loneliness has a similar, but more lasting, effect. But it's not just about stress hormones. Social interaction is like exercise for the brain. When you talk to someone, your brain is doing a complex dance processing language, understanding tone, reading facial expressions, recalling shared memories, formulating responses, considering different perspectives. It's a workout involving multiple brain regions simultaneously. When you're alone all the time, this complex workout doesn't happen. The neural pathways associated with social cognition and interaction start to weaken from disuse. It's like a muscle that isn't used. It begins to atrophy. Researchers have found that older adults who are socially isolated have a significantly higher risk of cognitive decline and dementia compared to those who remain socially engaged. The lack of stimulation, the absence of meaningful conversation, the feeling of being cut off, all these factors contribute to a less active, less resilient brain. It creates a kind of internal quietness that is the opposite of the vibrant activity your brain needs to stay sharp. Perhaps you're thinking, but I talk to people on the phone sometimes. Or, my family visits on holidays. That's wonderful, and every bit of connection helps. But it's the regularity and depth of interaction that truly nourishes the brain. Brief, infrequent contact isn't enough to provide the consistent cognitive and emotional stimulation needed. What your brain craves is meaningful connection, regular opportunities to engage in conversation, share experiences, feel understood, and feel a sense of belonging. This doesn't necessarily mean you need a huge social circle. Even a few close friends, regular connection with family, or participation in a small community group can make a significant difference. So, what can you do if you find yourself spending more time alone than you'd like? Or if you worry about the effects of isolation on your brain? The good news is that it's never too late to change this. It starts with acknowledging that this isn't just about feeling lonely. It's about protecting your brain health. Take a small step today. Could you call a friend or family member you haven't spoken to in a while? Not just for a quick chat, but for a real conversation. Could you look into local community centers, libraries, or senior groups that offer activities or classes that interest you? Maybe there's a book club, a gardening group, a walking group, or a craft circle. Even just attending once a week can start to build those connections. Think about your hobbies. Were you passionate about something years ago that you've let slide? Reconnecting with a hobby, especially one that involves other people, is a fantastic way to re-engage socially. Perhaps volunteering is something you've considered. Giving back to your community provides purpose, structure, and invaluable social interaction. Even something as simple as becoming a regular at a local coffee shop and striking up conversations with the barista or other regulars can add layers of connection to your week. The key is to find ways to regularly interact with others, to share your thoughts and feelings, to laugh, to listen, and to feel like you are part of something larger than yourself. This isn't just good for your mood. It's vital fuel for your brain. Don't let the habit of staying home isolate you from the world and from the mental stimulation your brain needs to thrive. It's one of the most significant, yet often underestimated, factors harming brain health after 70. Now that we've talked about the power of staying connected and avoiding isolation, let's turn our attention to another habit that can silently undermine your brain's health: letting your body become too still. It might sound counterintuitive. Surely, as we get older, we've earned the right to sit back and relax, to move less, to take it easy. And absolutely, rest and relaxation are important. But when taking it easy turns into prolonged periods of inactivity, when days are spent mostly sitting or lying down with minimal movement, your brain pays a heavy price, often without you realizing it. Think of your brain as a high-performance engine that needs a constant supply of fuel and oxygen, delivered through your bloodstream. Your heart is the pump, and physical movement is what helps keep that pump working efficiently and keeps your blood vessels healthy and clear. When you're sedentary, your circulation slows down. Less oxygen-rich blood reaches your brain. Over time, this can lead to the deterioration of brain tissue, particularly in areas responsible for memory and cognitive function. Regular physical activity, even gentle movement, has the opposite effect. It increases blood flow, delivering vital oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells. It also stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, a protein that acts like fertilizer for your brain, supporting the growth of new neurons and strengthening connections between existing ones. This is incredibly important for learning, memory, and overall cognitive resilience. Maybe you're thinking, but I can't run marathons anymore. And you absolutely don't need to. The kind of physical activity that benefits your brain after 70 isn't about strenuous workouts or pushing your limits. It's about consistent, gentle movement that gets your heart rate up just a little and gets your blood flowing. This could be a brisk walk around the block, dancing to your favorite music in the living room, gentle stretching exercises, Tai Chi, or even just standing up and moving around for a few minutes every hour if you spend a lot of time sitting. The key is regularity. Aiming for even 20-30 minutes of gentle activity most days of the week can make a significant difference. Consider how you spend your days. If you find yourself moving from the bed to a chair, staying there for long periods, and then moving back to the bed, your body and your brain are missing out on crucial stimulation. It's easy to fall into this pattern, especially if you have aches and pains or feel low in energy. But staying still often makes those aches worse and lowers your energy even further. It creates a cycle that's hard to break. Starting small is the secret. Could you commit to walking to the mailbox every day? Could you do a few leg lifts while you're watching television? Could you put on some music and just sway or tap your feet? Think about incorporating movement into your daily routines. When the phone rings, stand up and walk while you talk. When you're waiting for the kettle to boil, do some gentle stretches, if you're able. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator for 1 or 2 floors makes a difference. Walking to a nearby shop instead of driving, or getting off the bus 1 stop earlier. These small bursts of activity throughout the day add up and contribute to better circulation and brain health. Beyond blood flow and BDNF, physical activity also helps manage other health conditions that can harm your brain, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. It also reduces stress and improves sleep, both of which we'll talk more about because they are also critical for brain health. So, letting yourself become sedentary isn't just about losing physical strength or mobility. It's about depriving your brain of the oxygen, nutrients, and growth factors it desperately needs to stay healthy and sharp. If you're still spending the majority of your day sitting or lying down after 70 without purposeful movement, you are likely harming your brain without realizing the full extent of it. Making the conscious effort to incorporate even small amounts of regular, gentle physical activity is one of the most powerful steps you can take right now to protect your cognitive future. It's not about becoming an athlete. It's about keeping the blood flowing and telling your brain it's still needed and loved. Now that we've discussed the silent harm of isolation and the importance of getting your body moving for brain health, let's dive into another area that is absolutely fundamental, but often gets overlooked or deprioritized, especially as we age consistent. Quality sleep. You might think of sleep as just downtime, a period when your body rests. But for your brain, sleep is a time of intense activity, a crucial period for maintenance, repair, and consolidation of memories. When you're not getting enough sleep, or the sleep you are getting isn't restful, your brain is being silently harmed every single night. And after 70, this impact can be even more pronounced. Think about how you feel after a poor night's sleep. You're probably irritable, have trouble concentrating, feel foggy, and might be more forgetful than usual. These aren't just temporary annoyances, they're signs that your brain isn't functioning optimally. During sleep, particularly during deep sleep and REM sleep, your brain is busy. It's consolidating memories from the day, moving them from short-term to long-term storage. It's also clearing out metabolic waste products that build up during the day, including amyloid beta, a protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. This cleaning crew for the brain works most effectively during sleep. If you're chronically sleep-deprived, this waste removal process is impaired, leading to a buildup of potentially harmful substances in the brain. It's common for sleep patterns to change as we age. You might find you wake up more easily, need the bathroom during the night, or simply sleep for fewer hours than you used to. While some changes are normal, chronic poor sleep, difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or getting enough total hours of restful sleep is not something to just accept. It's a significant stressor on the brain and can contribute to cognitive decline, impaired decision-making, and reduced ability to learn new things. If you're consistently getting less than 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep a night, or if your sleep is frequently interrupted and doesn't feel restorative, you're likely harming your brain's ability to function at its best and protect itself long-term. Perhaps you rely on sleeping pills, or you try to catch up on sleep by napping excessively during the day, which then makes it harder to sleep at night, creating a vicious cycle. Maybe you spend hours watching television in bed, or scrolling through your phone right before trying to sleep, not realizing the blue light from screens interferes with your body's production of melatonin, the hormone that signals it's time to sleep. Or perhaps you have a cup of coffee or tea too late in the afternoon, or enjoy an alcoholic drink in the evening, thinking it helps you relax, but it actually disrupts sleep quality later in the night. These are all common habits that, while they might not seem overtly harmful, are silently damaging your brain by robbing it of essential, restorative sleep. What can you do to improve your sleep and protect your brain? It often starts with establishing a consistent sleep routine. Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends. This helps regulate your body's internal clock. Create a relaxing bedtime ritual. Take a warm bath. Read a book, a physical book, not on a screen. Listen to calming music, or do some gentle stretching. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep, dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol in the hours before bed. Limit screen time, television, phones, tablets, for at least an hour before you plan to sleep. If you find yourself lying awake in bed for more than 20 minutes, get up and do something quiet and relaxing in another room until you feel sleepy. Then return to bed. This helps your brain associate your bed with sleeping, not with frustration. Avoid long or late afternoon naps if they interfere with nighttime sleep. A short power nap earlier in the day is usually fine if needed. If you have persistent sleep problems, it's important to talk to your doctor. They can help identify underlying causes, such as restless leg syndrome, sleep apnea, or other medical conditions that might be disrupting your sleep and impacting your brain health. Don't dismiss poor sleep as just a normal part of getting older. Prioritizing sleep is one of the most effective strategies you have for preserving memory and cognitive function. If you're still treating sleep as optional or neglecting its importance after 70, your brain is working harder than it needs to and isn't getting the chance to clean and repair itself properly. Making sleep a priority is a gift you give to your future self and your future brain. Now, there's one more powerful, often invisible, factor that many of us still carry around, sometimes for decades, and which can be incredibly detrimental to brain health as we get older, allowing chronic stress and worry to dominate our inner lives. Life throws challenges our way at any age, and feeling stressed or worried occasionally is perfectly normal. But when stress becomes a constant companion, a low hum of anxiety that runs in the background day after day, year after year, it becomes chronic stress. And after 70, this ongoing mental burden can have a corrosive effect on your brain, impacting everything from your memory to your ability to think clearly and manage your emotions. If you're still letting worry consume you regularly, you are harming your brain in a very real way. Think back to what I said earlier about cortisol, the stress hormone. Acute stress, like the stress of a sudden emergency, causes a surge of cortisol, which helps you react quickly. Once the threat is gone, cortisol levels drop back to normal. But with chronic stress, cortisol levels remain elevated. This continuous flood of cortisol is toxic to brain cells, particularly in the hippocampus, that vital area for memory and learning. It literally shrinks the hippocampus over time, making it harder to form new memories and retrieve old ones. Have you ever felt like your mind is so cluttered with worries that you can't focus on anything else? That's your brain struggling under the weight of chronic stress. Beyond the hippocampus, chronic stress also affects the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and problem-solving. It makes it harder to think logically, to stay organized, and to manage complex tasks. This can lead to feelings of being overwhelmed and less capable, which in turn can fuel more worry and stress, creating a difficult cycle to break. So, if you're someone who has always been a worrier, or if recent life changes have left you feeling constantly stressed, maybe it's concerns about health, finances, family, or the state of the world, It's crucial to recognize that this isn't just an emotional issue, it's a brain health issue. You might feel like you can't help but worry, that it's just how you are. But learning to manage stress is a skill that can be developed, and it's a skill that can profoundly protect your brain as you age. Letting the habit of chronic worry persist is like leaving the tap running on a slow drip that will eventually overflow and cause damage. What are some practical ways to start managing chronic stress and protect your brain? It begins with awareness, simply noticing. When you are feeling stressed or worried is the first step. Don't judge it, just observe it. Then, try to understand what is triggering the stress. Is it a specific situation, a type of thought, or something else? Once you identify the triggers, you can start to explore strategies for responding differently. Simple relaxation techniques can be incredibly effective. Deep breathing exercises, slowly inhaling, holding for a moment, and slowly exhaling can immediately calm the nervous system and lower cortisol levels. Even just doing this for a few minutes each day can make a difference. Mindfulness or meditation practices, even brief ones, can help you become more present and less caught up in worrying thoughts about the past or future. There are many guided meditations available online specifically for stress reduction. Engaging in hobbies and activities you enjoy is a powerful stress reliever, whether it's gardening, painting, playing music, reading, or spending time in nature. These activities can provide a much-needed break from worry and promote feelings of calm and pleasure. Physical activity, as we discussed, is also a fantastic stress reducer. Exercise helps burn off stress hormones and releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects. Talking about your worries can also be immensely helpful. Sharing your concerns with a trusted friend, family member, or a therapist can lighten the emotional load and provide new perspectives. Sometimes, just articulating your worries out loud diminishes their power. If chronic stress feels overwhelming, seeking professional help from a therapist or counselor is a sign of strength, not weakness. They can provide tools and strategies tailored to your specific situation. It's also important to set boundaries. Learn to say no to commitments that overextend you. Limit your exposure to news or social media if it exacerbates your anxiety. Focus on what you can control and try to let go of what you cannot. This isn't about pretending problems don't exist. It's about finding healthier ways to respond to them that protect your peace of mind and, crucially, protect your brain from the damaging effects of chronic stress. If you're still habitually letting worry consume you after 70, you are actively harming your brain's ability to function optimally and maintain its health long-term. Breaking this habit. By learning and practicing stress management techniques is a profound act of self-care for your brain. So, you see, protecting your precious brain as you navigate life after 70 isn't about finding a magic pill or solving complex puzzles all day. Although mental stimulation is certainly good, it's deeply connected to these fundamental aspects of how you live your life, how you interact with the world, how you care for your body, and how you manage your inner state. We've talked about the silent drain of isolation, the critical need to keep your body moving to nourish your brain with vital blood flow and growth factors, the non-negotiable importance of prioritizing restful sleep for clearing waste and cementing memories, and the corrosive effect of letting chronic stress take hold. These might seem like separate issues: social connection, physical activity, sleep, stress, but they are all intertwined, each one impacting the others and collectively having a profound influence on your cognitive health as you age. If you're still habitually letting yourself become isolated, neglecting regular physical movement, sacrificing consistent, quality sleep, or allowing stress and worry to dominate your days after 70, you are engaging in behaviors that silently, subtly, but significantly harm your brain over time, potentially without even fully realizing the damage they are causing. The good news, the truly wonderful news, is that it's never too late to make changes. Your brain has an incredible capacity for plasticity, meaning it can change and adapt throughout your life. By making conscious efforts to address these areas, you can build new neural pathways, improve blood flow, reduce inflammation, and strengthen your brain's resilience. This isn't about adding burdensome tasks to your life. It's about reframing how you think about these things. Think of reaching out to a friend not just as a social call, but as a brain-boosting activity. Think of your daily walk not just as exercise, but as sending a fresh supply of oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells. Think of prioritizing your bedtime not as an indulgence, but as giving your brain the crucial cleaning and organizing time it needs. Think of practicing a stress-reducing technique not as a luxury, but as actively protecting your hippocampus from damage. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Pick one area to focus on this week. Could you commit to one phone call with a friend each day? Could you add a 15-minute walk around your living room or garden? Could you try to go to bed just 30 minutes earlier tonight? Could you practice deep breathing whenever you feel a wave of worry? Every small step you take towards better social connection, increased movement, improved sleep, and reduced stress is a step towards a healthier, sharper brain. Don't let these silent habits continue to harm your brain. Be proactive. Be kind to yourself as you make these changes. It takes time to build new habits. Celebrate the small victories. Your brain is an incredible gift. It allows you to remember cherished moments, learn new things, connect with loved ones, and navigate the world. Taking simple, consistent steps to nurture it is one of the most important things you can do for your well-being and happiness in the years ahead. I'd love to hear from you. What are some ways you stay connected, keep moving, sleep well, or manage stress? Share your tips and experiences in the comments below. Your ideas could inspire someone else in our community. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more practical advice and insights on living your best life at every age, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you for watching. Live your best life at every age.